Hello, welcome back to the Embodied Ayurveda podcast. I'm Niv Rajendra, your favorite health and longevity coach, helping high performing artists and CEOs to increase energy levels and creative flow through tailored Ayurvedic and Pranayama tools. And today we're going to be talking about something I know hits close to home for many of you: how to build an empire while staying deeply connected to what truly matters: your loved ones, your family. By the end of this episode, you're going to learn how exactly I help my clients to master their schedules, optimize their energy, and even reset their moods within just a few minutes a day, so that they can lead full lives without compromising on their health or desires. So, if you're someone who's striving to find that balance between your passion for creating and leading with spending quality time with your family, you're in the right place. We're going to be talking about how to sustain that balance without sacrificing either aspect of your life. And it all starts with your body, cleansing, invigorating, balancing it so you can show up fully both at work and at home. I'm also going to share a real life story from one of my clients who began to find that balance through our work together and is now truly, truly thriving, not only with his work, but in his family life as well. So precious. As a high performer, your passion has historically been one of the main forces that drives you. But alongside, now, it might be your partner or your kids. You're building something bigger than yourself in all ways, and it's incredibly rewarding. But let's be real, sometimes the vision you have with your business or your creative projects can pull you away from the people who matter most. Or then keeping up with the demands of work and your schedule can create long-term emotional inconsistencies, which end up seeping at home. So you might find yourself staying up late in the studio too often. You're feeling checked out when you're traveling, you're between places. You're finding yourself dependent on stimulants, which lead to crashes later. You're feeling restless during vacations with your family. Or then you're just feeling like your energy isn't naturally where you'd like it to be. It's a tough balance. And I've seen many, many clients face this challenge head on. But what if I told you that by making some strategic shifts in how you manage your time, energy, and moods, you can have it all? Let me share a quick story of a client of mine. Let's call him Andrew. So Andrew is a successful entrepreneur. He leads a few fast-growing businesses and passion projects, some of which are actually personally so inspiring to me. And he's also a father of 2 young children. So when we first started working together, Andrew was managing pretty well, actually, considering all of the things that were on his plate. And I could see that he was already putting in substantial efforts in his well-being. He was hitting the gym regularly. He had basketball games with his friends. He was keeping his body fit. He was attempting to eat healthier meals. And I love that. I love that he came to me already having made these really incredible efforts. But despite his success, despite his efforts, there was a constant nagging sense that something was off. Andrew seemed to be ticking all the right boxes, the ones that he heard people around him telling he needed to do. But underneath it all, there was still a dependency on caffeine and nicotine. There was inconsistent moods. He felt some energy dips, and there was guilt starting to creep in as well. Now, like I said, Andrew was super, super passionate about his work, but his time with his family was equally important to him, if not more at this point. And he was starting to feel it all clash with each other. He described moments where he'd be physically present with his kids or his wife, but mentally he was thinking about some meetings, some underlying frustrations, or then he was not actually able to be consistently present because he'd go really hard at work where he was feeling so much joy, and then get carried away with networking stuff or tours, and then need these long stretches of time to replenish himself. His subtle mood swings were another challenge. At work, he needed to stay sharp, focused, but at home, he found himself easily irritable, emotionally volatile, and his kids, his wife, they were all feeling the effects. And more than anything, I could tell that Andrew was starting to feel guilty. He was not for it. He didn't feel good about that. He was building an empire, but the costs were making themselves felt, and he wasn't doing anything deep rooted to shift out of these usual patterns. So the first thing that Andrew and I worked on together was his time management, not by pushing more productivity hacks or AI generated calendars, but by aligning his very unique routine with nature's wisdom. Now remember, Ayurveda isn't just about herbs or massages. It's about syncing your body's energy cycles with nature's intelligence through a customized lifestyle. We started with a simple but very powerful Ayurvedic concept, Dinacharya, the Ayurvedic daily routine. By creating a customized rhythm to suit his multiple responsibilities, the season he was in, and his body clock, Andrew began to notice how much more efficient he was with his time. So we prioritized his most demanding work tasks for the kapha and pitta times of the day, or the earth and fire times of the day, when his body naturally had more stamina and focus. And instead of cramming his strenuous workouts into the late evening, when his body was wanting to prepare for restfulness, we shifted it to the mornings, getting his metabolism and dopamine geared up for the day. He then began to use his late mornings and evenings for complete attentiveness with family, and his nights for a more gentle planning of his following day. We also shifted around his intense basketball games by just an hour from mid-afternoon to late afternoon, so as to not aggravate the energy of heat within him, which is super intense during the midday between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., and instead shifting that a little bit later so that it didn't aggravate any impatience, irritability, or jealousy, which were sensations that he was starting to feel before. So the beautiful thing is that this routine is obviously very malleable if you are traveling, and it was for him too. So even if he's in the middle of a big work deal or he's on vacation, he can actually apply most of these fine tunes to where he's at. So I just helped him to follow through these principles as closely as possible, more often than not. And over time, the aggregated benefits really shine through. You see, balance and efficiency is not about arbitrarily squeezing more into your day or super rigid routines. It's about optimizing your body's energy, focus, and mood cycles throughout the day for the long run. It's about syncing your body with nature's cycles over long periods of time, as opposed to ignoring it or then working against it. So this was the first integration we supported Andrew with, Dinacharya, and making these tiny, tiny fine tunes to his daily routine so he could still do all of the things that he was doing before, but because he was doing it at different times of the day, he was actually optimizing on the energy, the environmental energy of nature's clock, so that he could keep peak energy levels throughout all of those responsibilities. Now, another major shift came from working on stabilizing Andrew's moods. For him, balancing high-level decisions at work and the emotional demands of parenting were starting to feel overwhelming. Even though he was known for his relative poise, he was beginning to see himself emotionally drained and reactive. This is where pranayama came in. I introduced Andrew to Chandra Bhedana Pranayama, also known as left nostril breathing. So this technique, it cools the mind and body It soothes the nervous system and it brings in emotional calm and stability. And we worked it into his midday routine just as a reset between high intensity work meetings. It was like a switch. After just 5 to 10 minutes of this practice, he felt more grounded, more calm, more present. Remember, the left nostril is associated with the lunar or the cooling or the emotional channels of the body. And by making sure that they're open, we also bring deeper restfulness, deeper emotional stability, deeper coolness, really, to the mind, to the body, which is what he specifically needed because he was feeling a lot of aggravated energy in that movement between work meetings and between the different things of his schedule. And in his own words, or I'm paraphrasing, but I remember him saying something like, "It's like I can breathe again, Niv," literally and figuratively. I don't tense up subconsciously as I used to. And after all of those big wins at work, it would kind of fuel the ego and translate to this kind of arrogance and heatedness and irritability at home. But now I'm actually more thoughtful and I feel less reactive. I walk in to my wife and my kids knowing I'm going to be my kindest and most loving self. So his moods began to even out. He found himself more patient with his loved ones, enjoying the time that he had with them without the usual reactivity, energy dips, or frustrations. Finally, one of the most crucial aspects of sustaining both his empire and family life was ensuring that Andrew's body and gut was in peak condition, because energy and mood is directly related and influenced by the state of our digestion and our internal balance. Andrew's gut health was starting to get funky, irregular, and overly sensitive, especially when he was traveling, which he did do a lot. And this was impacting his energy, his mood swings, more than he actually quite realized. So, first, we implemented a gentle Ayurvedic cleanse to detoxify his system and recalibrate his digestion. And this is something that I customize client to client to client. So, I'm not going to give you some blanket statements on what that could look like for you. But know that it's something daily, gentle. We use some herbs. We create some meal plans for you, and it can last from anything like a few days to a few weeks. So we did that. And then in the long run, we made sure that he was really hydrating his body with cleansing herbal infusions and not just caffeine, ice sodas, and energy drinks. Those aren't actually hydrating, by the way. They're not stabilizing, neither are they strengthening to your gut. You think you are taking in these fluids, but they're not doing anything for you. And your gut needs the right amount of healthy lubrication and moisture to digest efficiently. The results of these targeted integrations: Andrew's energy levels literally skyrocketed. His mind began to be clearer. His ability to show up joyfully for both his family and work became more effortless. He no longer felt pulled in multiple directions or subtly exhausted because his body was feeling aligned with nature's intelligence. His mind was consistently flushed of negative emotions, and his gut, his digestion was functioning optimally, leaving him feeling so much more conscious and bright and intentional with his thoughts and words. And after about a year or two of working together, I remember Andrew telling me how liberated he felt, like he had really cracked the code on life, like it was possible to show up with so much awareness and equanimity for both his passions. And what an incredibly fulfilling sensation that was. And I'm just like, yes, your body is beyond intelligent. Everything you desire, your body can offer you if you treat it with the respect, maturity, and medicine it deserves. Value your health above all things, and the rest of your desires will come into fruition as a natural byproduct. Here's the thing. Andrew unlocked a superpower most people miss out on. They go their whole lives asleep to. And this is working with your body's natural intelligence rather than against it. And working with nature and your environment's natural intelligence rather than working against it. That's how he went from spread thin, not feeling completely fulfilled with family and his personal life, to truly thriving both at work with more energy, with more ground, stability, awareness, and at home. And I mean, face it, no one wants to be that parent or that partner who's just like checking out when their kid is telling them about their day. This is so boring. With these gentle yet super potent upgrades integrated consistently over time, Andrew, instead of feeling like his time and his presence with family was just slipping away, or it wasn't feeling totally wholesome and nourishing for him, he used these Ayurvedic principles and pranayama techniques to keep his energy steady and consistent and balanced. He was able to smash the ceilings with his innovations as he was already doing, continue to travel for work, play ball with his friends, and show up consistently and vibrantly for his loved ones. And this was without the dependency on coffee, stimulants, and marijuana. That was releasing those addictions was just a byproduct of naturally feeling so much more energy and joyfulness from the inside. So we also prevented any of those crashes and energy dips that were just normalized before in his life. The truth is, you do not need to choose between success and family. Actually, I'm here to help you redefine success entirely. Success is your ability to live all parts of your life with equal joy. And with the right tools and internal alignment, it is possible. By cleansing your body regularly, stabilizing your moods through deep-rooted practices, and managing your time efficiently, you'll be able to sustain any scale of empire without sacrificing on precious moments with your loved ones. In fact, you will see how your professional wins will actually up-level through this work too. It's literally just a win-win situation always. Short-term, long-term, personal, professional, romantic. It's incredible. If Andrew's story resonates with you and you're ready to find that balance in your own life, let's connect. This story and these wins are not unique to Andrew. Every single one of my clients experiences these types of upgrades, and it's possible for you too. So let's connect, book a complimentary alignment call with me using the link in the show notes, and we'll create a customized plan to help you sustain your empire without sacrificing on quality time with those that you love. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Embodied Ayurveda podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, share this episode with anyone who's struggling to find balance with their passions and their personal life. And until next time, and remember, you are capable of growing professionally, of seeing those out of these worlds career, legacy, empire wins, and being there for your loved ones, for your own health, fully present without burnout. Trust your body. Nourish yourself as you deserve, and you'll most definitely see that balance unfold. I'm Niv Rajendra. Big love, and see you next time.